Attention bowlers, we're going to get started. Welcome back to Exeter Lanes in Exeter, New Hampshire. This is the ACST B playoffs in the Class B North. It's Paul Metivier versus Justin Lyonnais, and holy moly, what a way to start the playoffs. Next ball counts, and Paul Metivier is making sure that next ball surely counted. In case you have missed it, Paul Metivier has already thrown a strike today before I'm even done my intro. Anyways, this is Paul Metivier, Justin Lyonnais. And the match format in the playoffs is a little bit different than the normal ACST season. It is grand total pinfall wins, so there are no points involved. I'm Steve Kelly on the call of the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour, brought to you by 3-Ball Spare Conglomerate. Good as always to have you along with us. Thanks for tuning in. This match was played on Monday, May 19th, 2025, and that will be a 6-box for Paul Metivier with a 4 fill on the strike. Okay, let's talk about some things. If you've never seen Candlepin Bowling, I hope you enjoyed the match today. It's a unique take on bowling from the heart of New England and Eastern Canada. This broadcast will have subtitles and live captioning enabled. Do enable it if you enjoy this feature. Also consider the transcript feature if you're watching this from YouTube. It's a 3-drop for Paul Metivier to the left of the headpin. During the match, in addition to fun facts and anecdotes, I'll provide play-by-play action and scoring via audio and video to the best of my ability. Have a look at the unofficial scoreboard on your screen. The bowlers maintain the official league records separately. The stream score is unofficial. There's a 9-box for Paul Metivier, 29 after 3. I may occasionally pause to verify scores if things seem out of sync, and I appreciate your patience when that happens. I'm going to do my best to add chapters to the YouTube description when this goes up on YouTube, so you can choose to jump to certain points in the games if that is your preference. Here's Paul Metivier, and he dropped 8 and he split 8. That's the 5 and the 10. And if you like this content, I encourage you to subscribe to this channel for more exciting matches. If you have any questions or suggestions, please be sure to let me know in the comments. Welcome to Class B North playoffs. It's Paul Metivier on a 5-10 split. Went to the left of the 5 and the 10, and it's still a split. Be a nice 10-box for Paul Metivier. Situation we might call miss the second, get the third. Paul Metivier currently at 39 after 4. Paul Metivier split a 6. Hollow hit down the center. 2, 4, 6, 7. And he's off to the left on the 7 pin. And that will be an 8-box for Mr. Paul Metivier to start out this first of 5. It's 5 games, but it's grand total pinfall. Points do not matter in this match. Paul Metivier starting out with a strike and then cooling off a bit. He's at 47 after 5. And here is Justin Lyonnais, JT Lyonnais, here at Exeter Lanes Shooter's Sports Pub. And there he is with a wiggly 9-drop, trying to match Paul Metivier, beat for beat, but couldn't quite do it. He left the 10. JT, don't need no wood. That's a spare for Mr. JT Lyonnais. Justin Lyonnais. Both bowlers with the mark on the first frame, starting out hot. Headpin shot, 7 fill for JT. Two, 4, 7. JT with a spare, double spare for JT Lyonnais. All over it. Here's the playoff picture. While we have a moment, you'll see that this is the first round as JT Lyonnais and Paul Metivier. John Alosa won his match, Dominic Palladino winning his match. Jeff Little and Tony Delmonico are yet to bowl theirs, at least as of the time of this broadcast. 5 drop, 5 fill for JT, not on the head pin. Will he get the three-peat? Oh, hollow hit down the center of the head of the center, including the head pin. Me and JT were talking before the match started, and we were saying it was believed, and a little more than believed, because I can just tell by the sound. These are some newer pins on these two lanes in particular. Seems to be from order of left to right on these lanes. It's old, newer, newest. To the right of us is the newest pins, and we're kind of in the middle. They do sound newer. But there's only one way to break them in, and that's with a nice 9 drop by JT Lyonnais, leaving the 7 pin on the plate. I don't know how much the audio is coming through on the sound of the pin hits, but there's just a noise, and if you bowl long enough, you just know if they're old pins or new pins. Piece of wood rolling, waiting to settle in front of the 7 pin with that 9 drop. JT, oh, and the wood betrays him. Betrays him in his moment of need. And that will be a 10 box, I believe. I'll mark it as a 10 unless I hear otherwise. That's 50 after 4 for JT Lyonnais. A great 10 out of JT Lyonnais. He has 2 spares and a 10. 50 after 4. And JT on the head pin on lane 4. Pins are still mixing. It's going to be a split. Looks like a 6 drop. 2, 4, 7, 10. Paul Metivier with a 47 half. JT over 50 already. Oh, and JT plays the object pocket. It was the right idea. Just couldn't quite deliver any debris to the 10 pin. And he'll kick the 10. And that will be the half for JT Lyonnais. It's 60 after 5 for JT Lyonnais and 47 after 5 for Paul Metivier. And that's the current situation here in this playoff match. As the bowlers switch their bowling balls, it's like the airing of the grievances. Here's Paul Metivier, our away bowler. His stats coming into the playoffs. He finished 2nd place in his division and 7th place in the wild card seedings. He finished the season 136 and 116. He averaged 109.5. His high single was 144, and he did have a 600 on the record with a 617 high series. That's the story for Paul Metivier. Without further ado, here's the gentleman himself on lane 3. This evening, our away bowler. And oh goodness, that will be a left side half Worcester. Paul Metivier on the Worcester. Second ball goes where the first ball did. Still backed up on the highway to Worcester. And a great out of Paul Metivier. That's a 6 box, a hard-fought 6 box. He went to war for. Paul Metivier overcorrects to the right this time. It's the 1, 2, 4, 8, 6, 10. Half Worcester red side plus extra DLC. Horse armor DLC. Anyone who's played Elder Scrolls Oblivion in the old days will know what I'm talking about. That's the, on the spare shot, Paul Metivier leaves everything but the 2 and the 10. Or takes everything but the 2 and the 10. Paul Metivier will take a 9. That's 62 after 7 for Mr. Paul Metivier. So Paul Metivier, as we said, he finished the season 136 and 16, a 1.17 kill-death ratio. At home at Leda Lanes, he finished 79 and 47, 1.68 win-loss. There's a strike by Paul Metivier all the while. Every time I want to talk about something, Paul Metivier is there to thwart me. That's his 2nd strike so far. Let's watch that again. Kaboom! All over the 1-3 pocket. Complete banger right there. And so far, that's a 2 drop. Two drop, and the next ball will complete the strike fill. And yikes, that'll be, the heck is that, a 4 fill for Paul Metivier. That's the 1, 4, 6, 7, 9, 10. That's bowling for you. And that was a great 7 out of Paul Metivier with that mess. So he's at 83 after 9. 2 strikes, but just a couple of low fills and 2 6 boxes, putting him a little bit in the danger zone here compared to JT Lyonnais waiting in the wings at 60 after 5. And that's a 6 drop for Paul Metivier, 1-3-6-8. It's a must-mark situation, and he'll miss the object pin, and the object pin is the only one that's left on the deck. The head pin for a 10 box for a 93 first game, and it'll be a 92 first game for Mr. Paul Metivier. And that's 2 strikes. And again, 92 first game for Paul Metivier, 2 strikes, just a couple of low fills and a couple of low boxes. Kind of made that a little bit more disappointing than it should have been. Anyways, JT Lyonnais is getting ready to bowl on lane 3. To the left of the head pin. It's a 5 drop for JT. And the second ball is off to the right, not on target. Took out a few pins, and that's about all as I can say about that. That'll be a 7 for JT Lyonnais. That's 67 and 6. While we have the moment, here's JT Lyonnais' stats. He finished number 1 in his division in B North Division 2 and the 2nd overall seed in the wild card. He finished with a 1.86 win-loss ratio at 164 and 88. And here he is again. He'll drop 6 and split 6. 2, 7, 8, 10 for JT Lyonnais. And he'll hurl it at the 2-pin. 2-pin doesn't touch anything else. 7, 8, 10 leave. 7 box or greater for JT. And that will be a 7 box for JT Lyonnais. A second 7th box in a row. Second 7 box in a row, and the 7th frame is 74. That was a lot of 7s. 3 frames to go. If you're new to Candlepin bowling and you're wondering why I'm saying boxes, boxes and frames are synonyms. We just say boxes in the Candlepin bowling world, and I will switch in between the two just for the sake of variety. There's a 9 drop for JT, leaving the 10 pin. JT Lyonnais has a season average of a 111. Ooh, and there's a spare for JT Lyonnais. I'll finish that thought in just a second. 84 and a bonus after 8. 111.64 was JT Lyonnais' average for this season. At home, he was 76 and 50, a 1.52 kill-death ratio. Away, much better, 88 and 38, 2.32 win-loss ratio. JT working on a spare. And that was one heck of a work on a spare. That's a 10 drop. We might call that a strike. That's a strike across Candlepin or 10-pin. My apologies, I just was too slow on the button for the replay. I was talking too much. By my count, that's 104 after 9. Plus a ball. Plus 2 balls. That's a head pin. There's a split. That's ball 1. 6 drops so far. Eight for 10 on the head pin. Mr. Lyonnais is... That'll be an 8 on the fill. 112 and 9. 92 is confirmed for Paul Metivier as I glance over at the paper and pencil scoring, and that's a 10 box and a 122 game 1 for JT Lyonnais. And those scores are confirmed. I did a fantastic job at staying in sync without looking at their paper. 92 Paul Metivier, 122 JT Lyonnais. Again, it doesn't matter who wins or loses each individual string, it all comes down to grand total pinfall in the ACST playoffs. Rules are slightly different in the playoffs. And now that we are ready to go, Paul Metivier is getting ready to aim and fire, hopefully in that order. You're watching the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour. I'm Steve Kelly on the call for the ACST and 3-ball spare conglomerate. Welcome to the second game of 5 in this grand total pinfall shootout at the Shooter Sports Pub in Exeter, New Hampshire. Exeter bowling lanes. Head pin goes down eventually. Was grazed. Paul Metivier will take a 6 split. That's the 3, the 6, the 8, and the 10. With lots of wood, I think that's going to go. Watch with me. Paul Metivier. Oh, everything but the 10 pin. 10 pin was touched even. You were hit. Didn't go though. Dicey piece of wood. Half in, half out of the gutter, and it's kind of wobbling. But Paul Metivier will miss it, so we won't ever quite know what was the result of that. It'll be a 9-box for Paul Metivier in the first. Paul Metivier had an away record of 57-69 with a .83 kill-death ratio throughout the season. He had a 109.58 season average in the regular season. Paul Metivier will drop 5, and that's a Caleri on the left side, named after Bob Caleri of WNDS Candlepin Stars and Strikes. 2 different possible ways to get this sleeve. It's the 4 Horsemen plus the opposite sleeper pin. And Paul Metivier will miss the object pin of the Caleri, and he'll leave the 1 of the 8. That's Caleri, spelled C-A-L-I-R-I. Fun facts. Not Cleary as in the Cleary Act. It's Caleri. And there's a 10-box for Paul Metivier. That's 19 after 2. Paul Metivier has a home average of 108.40 and a away average of 110.76, a high single of 144, a high series of 617. With 58 strikes, 200 spares, 199 tens, perfect box percentage, 51%, 9,862 seasonal total pins, and there's a 2-drop and a half Worcester right side for Mr. Paul Metivier. Oh, and he wanted to touch the head pin or the pocket in some way, but just missed it slightly to the left. He's left with the 1, the 6, and the 8. 168 for a 10-box. Metivier, he'll make that a 9. 28 after 3. Paul Metivier, as we discussed earlier, he finished 2nd place in B North Division 4 and finished in the 7th seed in B North overall in the wild card. So he's in the dance. Made it to round 1 of the playoffs. As a headband shot, pins are still mixing, pins still mixing, and it goes. Slow mover strike for Paul Metivier. Call a refund on the moving company because that was a slow one. Watch this. The triangle was the last to fall. 5 goes, 4 goes, 2 goes. That's Candlepin math. That's 38 and a bonus after 4. And there's a 5-drop so far, left side Caleri for Paul Metivier. Next ball completes the strike fill. And he fires, oh, just a little bit off the head pin. Leaves the 1 and the 7. That's an 8 fill on the strike. That's 46 after 4. It's a difference of 16 in the total at the moment. Paul Metivier will take the head pin and leave the 9, and that will be the 7, and that will be a 9-box for Paul Metivier. That's a 55 half. 55 half is confirmed for Paul Metivier. Paul Metivier, so far, doing really well with getting at least 1 strike per half, but all the other boxes could use a little bit of work. See what JT Lyonnais, who's been hot on the head pin, 8 for 10 in the first game. Let's see what he can do to capitalize. JT Lyonnais on the head pin, and speaking of head pins, all over that one, buries the pocket. 9 drop. Leaves all but the 9, the 9 pin on the deck. And there's a spare for JT Lyonnais. That's 10 and a bonus after 1 for the gentleman himself. Justin Lyonnais had a home average of 109.8 and a away average of 113.49, a high single 151, a high series 645. And look at that bomb of a strike by JT Lyonnais. Strike on spare. See if I can sneak the replay in on that. Watch this. It was fast. Might even need to cut it short because he's ready to throw his next ball, but look at that strike. All right, the follow-up. Oh, a little bit too fast on the follow-up. Drops 3. 4 in the center, 3 in the back left. Filling the strike. He's on the head pin there, and he'll at least get a decent fill of 9. That's 39 after 2. Definitely hear something rolling around in the pin setter behind lane 4 right now. On the roller or the lift or something. Whatever it is. It'd be making noise. JT versus the 7 with a dicey piece of wood in front of it. He misses it entirely. That's a 9 box and a 48 after 3 for JT Lyonnais. JT Lyonnais has 54 strikes, 203 spares, 194 tens, 53% perfect box percentage, 10,048 seasonal total pins. There's an awkward 3 drop for JT. Feast or famine on his first ball. It's either a lot or very little. And he beans the left of the target. Leaves the 1, the 2, the 7, and the 8. And JT will take 7, 55 after 4. JT Lyonnais is 10 for 14 on the headpin with 3 splits, averaging 6.7 on the first ball. Up to this point, Paul Metivier averaging 5.6 on the first ball with a 55 half and 6 headpin shots and 3 splits. JT and Justin Lyonnais splitting 7, 2, 4, 6. And, well, he will take the left side of that split. Best way to take it, just hit it a little full. On the 6 for a 10, and it will be a 10, and that will be a 65 half for JT Lyonnais. Scores confirmed, difference of 10 in this game, and in the difference in the total, it's a difference of 40. Justin Lyonnais, 187, Paul Metivier, 147. So JT, thanks to that first game, he's up by 40. In this game, they're only differentiating each other by 10. But that can really swing either way. One bowler can have a really cold game, one bowler can have a really hot game, and we're only 1.5 games in, so anything can happen at this point. So stay tuned. The bowlers are just getting ready to... Bowlers are just... And we're just going to take just a quick timeout here, like a TV timeout, and we will be right back. Stay tuned. All right, folks, thanks for your patience. We are now back. Just a quick bio break and etc. Here's Paul Metivier. 7 drop. 3, 6, 7 for Mr. Metivier. Start out the second half. Little full on the 3. Takes the 7 as well. The 6 is left on the deck. That'll be a 9 for Mr. Metivier to start the second half. He's at 64 after 6. He's at 3 for 6 this game on the head pin with 2 splits. Overall, 7 for 16 overall for the head pin statistics. 4 splits. Cumulative. It's a word I can't say very well, apparently. Paul Metivier started the second box. 7th box. My God. Paul Metivier, that ball was not where he was intending to throw it. You could tell by the stomp. 1, 5, 3, 6, 8, 9. 4 drop. And Paul Metivier will overcorrect a little bit to the right. He's left now with the 1, the 5, and the 8. And that will be a 7 for Paul Metivier, 71 after 7. Where do we leave off with Paul Metivier? In the stats department, he has 8 matches this season at or over, 550. 1 match at or over 600, and there's a 9 drop in the head pin for Paul Metivier. He has 2 matches with shutout victories this season. There's a spare for Paul Metivier on the single. 81 and a bonus after 8. Paul Metivier has 10 of 18 matches with double-digit wins. His head pin average per match this season after 18 matches, 25.55 for 50. And Paul Metivier on the spare will drop 6. Wasn't on the head pin. Got a decent mix out of it. 1, 3, 7, 8. Paul Metivier always on the head pin, a little too much on the head pin. 378. Used to be a 7 box or greater for Paul Metivier now. Oh, and a nice 10 box, 97 after 9. Paul Metivier threw a 92 in the first game, so he's already doing better. Still has 1 box to go even. Again, this match is all about grand total pinfall as we are in the playoffs of the ACST now. Congratulations to all who made it, and may the odds be ever in your favor. Paul Metivier not... Oh, a nice strike for Paul Metivier, and it wasn't one anybody was expecting. I know I certainly wasn't. He threw that ball, and he had a little frustrated stomp, but I think that stomp caused all the pins to fall, don't you think? So there's a strike for Paul Metivier. 107 and a bonus. 2 balls to go here. Head pin, almost a double. Leaves the 5, 9 so far. So he can get a big 20 in this 10th. For a potential 117, guaranteed 116. And that will be a 117 for Paul Metivier with that spare on strike in the 10th for the fill. Paul Metivier presently 209 plus 22 over Justin Lyonnais, 5 boxes ahead. Still plenty of time, though. JT on the head pin. 6 go down and splits. 7, 6, 9, 10. Oh, and he'll try to spare it up, and he hit the object pin hard. The object pocket hard. Leaves the 7 on the deck, though. He'll make a 10 out of that. That's 75. After 6 for JT Lyonnais. He finished number 1 in B North Division 2 and the number 2 seed overall in the standings in B North. 10 matches out of over 550, 1 match out of over 600. There's a 2.5-drop Worcester on the right side for JT Lyonnais, Justin Lyonnais. It's a 3-9 punch out. Oh, and he'll hit the left side and a bit of a hollow hit. 2 more pins down, 4 down, 6 up. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 10. Yikes, all 3 balls were just kind of hollow hits, and I'm with you right there, JT, on that hit, on that frustration. That's the 2, 6, 7, 10. If you're watching this, and it is any day beyond May 19th, on 3-ball spare, I'll have a new match, well, a new-ish match, a new old match of myself versus Nate Lees, narrated, going up on the morning of May 20th on 3-ball spare on YouTube. Just finished narrating and editing that match today. And we bowled on lanes 2 and 3. Tonight we're bowling on lanes 3 and 4. But the same location. There's an 8-box for JT Lyonnais. That's 89 and 8. Paul Metivier averaged 6 on the first ball, 20 boxes in, 18 boxes in. JT Lyonnais is averaging 6.5 on the first ball with 2 boxes to go. 89 currently. Plus 2 from Metivier. At the same point in the game, that's a 5-drop. Bail of 5 on the right. And he'll take 2 out on the right. Turning it into a small pocket of 3. 3, 5, 9. There'll be a 9 for JT. 98 and 9. Now JT needs to get a big 20 in order to pass Paul Metivier in the second game. Not that that matters or anything, but grand total pinfall is just thinking about the leads. JT Lyonnais is currently up 11, and he'll bury the pocket, but he'll split 8. Fairly grim spare opportunity here. It's a 7 and the 9 with no wood. And he'll mow down 1 pin and leave the 7 for a 10-box potential. It'll be a difference of a little bit between our 2 bowlers with that 9-box, a difference of 20 exactly. 107 for Lyonnais, 117 for Metivier. Scores are confirmed. The difference is currently 20 pins in JT Lyonnais' favor with his 229. Paul Metivier currently at 209. JT Lyonnais filling marks with a total of 49 pins. Paul Metivier totaling 32. JT Lyonnais with a higher per mark average of 8.2. Paul Metivier averaging 6.4 on each mark. Here's Paul Metivier. Lane 4. And he'll take a Talon spread eagle, a 3-drop. Takes out the 1, the 5, and the 8. Leaves everything else. Oh, and he'll nail the 2 and nothing else. And what is that, a 5 box? That's a 5 box for Paul Metivier. Not exactly the barn burner or the opening frame that we're used to up to this point. Paul Metivier has been averaging 12.27 splits per match. His home house this season was Leda Lanes. Paul Metivier's off to the left of the head pin, 6-pack, and the 7. It's a 3-drop. Metivier will turn that into a 7-10 split. Wood still settling. And it might end up just being the 7, and it is. Piece of wood found its way to the 10 and took it out. I like the plates at Exeter for that reason. You can get a lot of action that way. And Paul Metivier will take a 9 box. That's 14 after 2. Paul Metivier in his past 5 matches, he took 39 points, averaging 7.8 points per match. Total pinfall in the past 5 matches, 2,810 pins, averaging 562 per match. 2-drop for Metivier. Left side half Worcester. He'll connect with the 2 and nothing else. That was a great out of Paul. Actually, an even greater out with those 2 extra falling pins, and that'll be a 9 box. That's 23 and 3 for Paul Metivier. Metivier on the head pin drops 8, splits 8. 7 and 9. Paul Metivier, 16 out of his 18 matches were totaling at or over 500 in grand total pinfall. His longest streak of matches at or over 100 has been 12 this season. Longest streak of matches at or over 500 has been 8. Longest winning streak of greater than 7 points per match has been 3. 10 box for Metivier, 33 after 4. Paul Metivier averages 6.33 points per away match, 8.78 points per home match in the regular season. Paul Metivier will split 6. 3 splits this half, 3 headpin shots this half. 3, 6, 4, 7. And he'll take the right half and nothing doing on the left half. He'll make a good 10 box out of that, but he'll have a markless 43 half. Midway through the 3rd game, halfway point for Paul Metivier, 252 so far in the total. Again, grand total pinfall wins. JT Lyonnais is currently at 229. 2 games in. Looks to respond. You're watching the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour, this Class B North playoff match. I'm Steve Kelly on the call in Exeter, New Hampshire, at Exeter Bowling Lanes Shooter Sports Pub. JT Lyonnais will drop 7, 4, 6, 2. JT plays the 2 and dances around the 4 and the 6. Leaves the goalposts. Make a 9 box out of that mess. 9 after 1 for JT. Justin Lyonnais. Paul Metivier averaging 5.3 on the first ball up to this point. JT Lyonnais averaging 6.9 on the first ball up to this point. Seven drop. Triforce of power, the 3 triangle. 3, 5, 6. He beans the 5 and leaves the 3 and the 6. That'll be an 8-boxer JT Lyonnais, 17 after 2. So where are we this evening? We're in Exeter, New Hampshire at Exeter Bowling Lanes, Shooter's Sports Pub. Small house, but historic house since 1946. Rob Ficarra owns the place. Paper scoring, all wood approaches, all wood lanes. There's a strike. Oh my goodness, a fast one for JT Lyonnais. Come to Exeter Bowling Lanes if you want to strike out. Watch this. The replay was stuck on the slide screen. It was that quick. Watch this. Kaboom. And the follow-up now. For the double. Almost a double. 9 so far. 7 pin. Single pin spare. Opportunity. Oh, and he rides the rail and doesn't really touch the pin. Doesn't really touch the gutter. It's a miss. 9 fill. This second get the third for JT Lyonnais. Oops. This is the one I was looking for. Miss the second get the third. You know the rest of the lyrics. 46 after 4 for JT Lyonnais. A drop, 2-5 on the head pin for JT Lyonnais. Just off target by a little bit. Leaves the 2 on the deck. That will be a 9 for JT, and that's a 55 half for Justin Lyonnais. 1 strike, no other marks. Had a couple of opportunities that were missed there, but he's at 55 after 5. Paul Metivier, 43 after 5. And all those scores are indeed confirmed. JT up by 32, 284 to Paul Metivier's 252 at this point in the match. The exact halfway point in this 5-game series. Still 2.5 games of bowling to go. Grand total pinfall wins it. It'll be Paul Metivier next at bat here. JT lines with a staggering 80% head pin completion percentage. 5 drop and a left side Caleri for Paul Metivier. Here comes Paul Metivier on the Caleri, and he'll take all but 1 pin off the Caleri. 80% of the Caleri, leaving the 4 pin. That's a 9 for Paul Metivier. That's 52 in 6. 3 headpin shots, 3 splits for Paul Metivier. He's 11 for 26 on the headpin with 7 splits. JT Lyonnais is 20 for 25 on the headpin with 8 splits. JT Lyonnais is averaging 7.3 on the first ball. Paul Metivier presently averaging 5.3 on the first ball. It looks like we might need to wait for a pin setter real quick. That gives me more time to talk to you about where we're bowling at Exeter Bowling Lanes Shooters Sports Pub. Open since 1946, cash-only ATM on premises, paper scoring, and Seacoast, New Hampshire adjacent. Exeter Bowling Lanes offers a bunch of entertainment, such as 12 lanes of Candlepin bowling, obviously. There's also local entertainment, pool tables, and 13 TVs. There's also glow-in-the-dark bowling fun, in addition to regular bowling here. Tons of awesome food at the bar at the Shooters Sports Pub. If you're interested in joining a league, there's both bowling and dart leagues here at Exeter Bowling Lanes. Events, birthday parties, all kinds of stuff. This place is equipped for pretty much all of it. And according to Microsoft Copilot, quote, visitors appreciate the family-oriented atmosphere, friendly staff, and great pizza. It's at 6 Columbus Avenue in Exeter, New Hampshire. 03833. Check out their website. Owned by Rob Ficarra. He's been involved with the business for over 3 decades. Even lives in an adjoining home next to the bowling alley and pub. Rob Ficara made various improvements to the facilities over the years, and he made an awesome bowling alley and is keeping it really well made. Or well maintained, that is. We're still just waiting on the lane maintenance at the moment, so at the moment, in case you're a little bit lost on the scoreboard and just need an orientation, here's a little kind of a compass of sorts. On the scoreboard, you'll see the green lights to the left of the score towers represents a headpin shot. The red light to the right of the score towers represents a split. You'll see at the bottom of the score towers in italics, those are the the totals of each 5 games, followed by the grand total on the bottom right. The symbols for double strike, strike, spare, and 10 are on your screen. A 10 is represented as an X on this scoreboard. A strike is a filled square. Double strike is the fancy 4 triangles, should we be lucky enough to see that. And a spare, of course, is the triangle. And in the mini-map, you'll see on the upper left side of your screen during the regular camera view, the only thing I do have blanked out is the points section, because we are in the playoffs. Points do not matter in the playoffs, so just ignore that part. Just store that away for the regular season when we start that up again in the fall. But other than that is bowler initials, and then the match and game total, respectively. And in the gray area is the leads up to the current point of the match. Still waiting on that lane maintenance, and we may need to just go to a break real quick, so we'll come back as soon as that lane is taken care of. We'll be right back. All right, folks, I think we are finally good after a little delay. Without further ado, welcome to lanes 5 and 6. We had I guess we had a catastrophic lane breakdown on lane 3, and we had to figure out where we wanted to go. And it was just a matter of picking up and moving. That's always fun. Anyways, where do we leave off? Paul Metivier will split 7. Apologize for the slightly at an angle. Just, we were set up for a certain pair, and I guess I'm just happy that the whole rig was able to slide over about 5 feet. Hard to do that when it's all wired up. Anyways, Paul Metivier will bean 1 pin on the 7 drop, and that'll be an 8 box. That's 60 after 7 from Mr. Metivier. So yes, yeah, happy playoffs. We were just having a congress on what to do with the lane breakdown, especially in the middle of a match like that, a couple of frames into a half, so we were just being extra careful and just making sure we were just doing all the CYA we had to do. No worries. We were just laughing about it during the break, so it's all good. Having a fun time here. There's a spare for Paul Metivier. He's settling in on lane 5. That's 70 and a bonus after 8. Paul Metivier 13 for 28 on the head pin with 8 splits. Paul Metivier filling the spare on the head pin, and he sure will fill that with 8 and split 8. That's 78 and 8. Wiggly 10, 5 pin down there with a piece of wood. Oh, and I know what Paul Metivier wanted to do. He wanted to kick the left side of the wood in such a way that he could push it forward towards the 5 and then at the 10. It's physics, I tell you, physics. Just like that. That was the shot he was looking for. There's a 10 box for Paul Metivier. Some might call that a PGS. Miss the second and get the third. One box to go for Paul Metivier. He's currently at 88 after 9. We'll assess the leads after we're at an even point. Metivier on the head pin there. He'll split 8. And I guess it comes full circle to that lecture we had earlier about the newer pins being further to the right, so I guess we are experiencing those newer pins now. Paul Metivier will miss his difficult spare on the 6-7. Shooting for an 8, 9, or 10. No 100 tier game this time. That'll be an 8, and that's 96 for Paul Metivier. So after 3 games and after a lane move, Paul Metivier's grand total pinfall is at 305. JT Lyonnais down by 21, 5 boxes behind. That's the benchmark he has to reach. Again, we're not talking about points. We're not talking about winning individual games. We're talking about the grand total pinfall in the ACST playoffs. Here's JT Lyonnais, and yikes. JT Lyonnais indeed. Welcome to lane 5. 1-5 punch. Talent spread eagle. And second ball goes right where the first ball landed. Can't award him twice the pins, though. That would be fun if we could. JT Lyonnais will at least get a nice 7 out of that, a nice out of you. That's 62 and 6. He's perfect on the head pin, 6 for 6 this game, and he's 21 for 26 on the head pin with 9 splits overall. JT Lyonnais on the head pin, MVP right now. JT Lyonnais has 1 out of 18 matches with shutout victories this season, 12 of 18 matches with double-digit wins, and there's another head pin shot and another split of 7 for JT Lyonnais. Still perfect on the head pin this game. That's the 4-5-7. JT will punch the 7 and leave the 4 and the 5. And he'll make that a 9 box. After the debris clears, that's 71 after 7 for JT. He's just clearing that ball. 3 boxes to go here in this third game. Paul Metivier only down by 5 on the total, so JT has the potential to really pull ahead here. He has 3 boxes to really make a difference in the total. 2 games to go, of course, but he'll miss the head pin there. It's a 5 drop. 4 horsemen right side and the 7. 1, 3, 6, 7, 10. JT. Oh, nice. Beauty of a spare. A wonderful spare. And let's get a replay of that, because that was great shot on the 1-3 pocket. Took everything out. Not on the Brooklyn side, on the Manhattan side. He's going to fill the spare now. And it's a headpin shot. Didn't expect anything different from JT Lyonnais. He'll split 6. That's 87 and 8. Oh, no, almost spared up again. That was a great shot. Right on the target, right in the pocket. 7 pin for a 10 box, and that will be a 10. That'll be 97 and 9 for JT Lyonnais. 79% head pin completion percentage for our home bowler. Look at that. That's a staggering stat. One of the highest stats, one of the highest numbers I've seen after this many frames. And there's another head pin shot. 9 drop. JT Lyonnais averaging 6.9 on the first ball. Paul Metivier averaging 5.8 on the first ball. And JT, oh, he just misses the single. Again, riding that rail and just threading the needle between the gutter and the 7 pin. For the 10 box, and he'll miss that too. That'll be a 9. That'll be a 106 for JT Lyonnais. He went 9 for 10 on the head pin, almost perfect. 24 for 30 on the head pin with 11 splits for JT Lyonnais. 15 out of 30 for head pins for Paul Metivier and 10 splits for Paul Metivier. 96 to 106, a difference of 10 in the third game. It's a difference of 30 in Justin Lyonnais' favor. So plus 30, 335 to Paul Metivier's 305. That's the story of the third game. It's time to move on to game number 4. We just continue the march with 20 boxes to go in this match here in the ACST playoffs. Class B North, Paul Metivier at JT Lyonnais. This is the 4th game. I want to welcome you back. I'm Steve Kelly on the call. Again, we're at Exeter Bowling Lane Shooter Sports Pub. Very old school, but great bowling alley. You may remember Exeter for the Friday Night Pro League. Exeter has their own team in the Friday Night Pro League. They did very well this season. Paul Metivier, he'll punch 1. Something about limes, maybe? Lime in the coconut and drink it all up? I don't know. Oh, excuse me. It's a lemon drop. Paul Metivier on the lemon drop. On the head pin, he'll leave 3 on the deck. JT. We'll make that a 7 box. 7s are wild for Paul Metivier. Paul Metivier in his past 5 matches, 20 strikes, 59 spares, 52 tens, averaging 4 strikes per match, 11.8 spares per match, and 10.4 tens in his past 5 matches. Paul Metivier, his first ball is twice as good as the first ball in the previous box. That's a 2 drop. 4 and the 7 down. The rest of the 8 pins are up. Oh, and he's right on the pocket. 2-6-10 for Paul Metivier. And he'll take one more out, and that's an 8 box for Mr. Metivier, 15 after 2. In case you're just tuning in and you're wondering what the heck is going on with the weird camera angle in the wide shot, we had a bit of a lane breakdown in our original lanes of 3 and 4, and we had to move to 5 and 6. So just as an FYI, there's a 3 drop now for Paul Metivier. He dropped 1, then dropped 2, then dropped 3 on the first ball. Center diamond and the 6 triangle. And he's on the pocket. Pins mixed down. He leaves the 2 and the 10. So it won't be a mark. An 8 box or greater. Split the difference and make it a 9 for Paul Metivier, 24 after 3. Paul Metivier in his past 5 away matches, he took 20 points, averaging 4 per match. Did much better at home, 49 points his past 5 home matches, averaging 9.8 points per match. 10 matches without double-digit wins, but last time versus JT Lyonnais, he took 4 points off of him. That was at Lyonnais Lanes, I believe. That was a 6 drop for Paul Metivier, leaving the 4 horseman right side. Best first ball so far this game. Paul Metivier is the 12th highest Class B average at 109.6, the 3rd highest Class B total strikes at 58, and the 10th highest Class B total spares at 200. No mark for Paul Metivier. He's on the head pin for a 10 box. And he's got that 10 box. That's 34 after 4 for Mr. Paul Metivier. Paul Metivier recently faced Dan Gray in round 18 at Lyonnais Lanes. I covered that match. Go check it out. He took 11 points off of Dan with a 545 series in 92, 104, 123, 107, and 119. Paul Metivier threw 2 strikes, 12 spares, 12 tens, 24 headpin shots, 10 splits. And there's Paul Metivier. Now he's getting cranked up there with a 9 drop, leaving the 7 pin for a single pin spare opportunity. It's Paul Metivier versus a single. And he'll play the wood and not get the object pin. And that will be a 9 for Paul Metivier, and that's a 43.5, markless. In the 5th, halfway through the 4th, 4 strikes, 2 spares, Paul Metivier, all in different games. 46% on the head pin. Totaling 40 in mark fills, averaging 6.7 per mark. First ball averages 5.4. Here's JT Lyonnais. Drops 6. Drops 7. Missed the head pin. 1, 2, 4. Both bowlers seemingly having a little bit more struggles with the head pin on this lane in particular compared to all the others. Lane 6 seems to be a bit of a doozy. Maybe it'll even things up. And JT Lyonnais will leave the 4 on the deck for a 9 box to open things up here on lane 6 at Exeter Bowling Lanes Shooters Sports Pub. A match that required 4 lanes to bowl. Here's JT on the head pin, dropping 8, dropping 9, dropping 10. Nice job by JT Lyonnais. So it is possible to get a strike on these lanes. Let's watch this. On the 1-2 pocket. Oh, but he's already throwing. Oh, and... Ooh. Oh, boy. That's a interesting 5 drop and a spare. I mean, a split, that is. 4, 5, 6, 7, 10. JT will play the wood, and that'll be an 8 fill on the strike. 27 after 2. I'm going to try to switch this wide shot to see the bowler a little bit more than you can. That's a 9 box for JT. There we go. Just panned one of the cameras over. So it's not just an awkward shot of nobody. There's a 9 drop, and will be a Julian strike. The head pin has to be the last to fall for a Julian strike, and not quite. Head pin wiggles but doesn't fall down. JT will spare it up, though. That's 46 after 4. Let's watch that strike again, since we didn't quite have enough time to play the replay before. On the 1-2 pocket, that was everything going down for JT Lyonnais. It's like the Fall Out Boy song. Oh, and is it another strike? Oh, another 9 drop, though. Another beauty. Great fill of 9. Big 19 in the 4th. 55 after 4 for JT. 27 for 35 in the head pin with 12 splits. Oh, and he'll miss the single. Rushed into it. Wise men say, only fools rush in. Oh, and he'll miss it twice. That's a 9 box and a 64.5 for JT. It's a bit of a soft lesson there. If you're hot and you're just marking, do take a second to breathe every now and then, and don't just chuck the rock. That's 64 after 5 for Lyonnais and 43 after 5 for Paul Metivier. JT maintains the lead by 51, 399 to Paul Metivier's 348. So despite some of the mishaps, JT is still doing fairly well in the positioning. We are in the final 15 boxes of this match. Here we go. It's Paul Metivier. Paul Metivier down there in the black. I'm Steve Kelly back here on the mic. Watching the ACST. Here comes Paul Metivier. On the head pin. He splits 6. 2, 7, 8, 10. Two semi-10 for Paul Metivier, and he'll punch the 7 hard. Oh, and he'll play the object pin, and he'll leave 1 on the deck. Leaves the 8 pin. That'll be a 9 box for Paul Metivier to open up the second half. He's at 52 after 6. 2 for 6 on the head pin with 1 split. 17 for 36 on the head pin with 11 splits. Paul Metivier's averaging 5.4 on the first ball. Here is Paul Metivier. Missed the head pin but dropped 8. 1 in the 8. Oh, and a beauty of a spare for Paul Metivier. 1-8 spare leaves are really difficult. And I know that sounds weird, and it looks easy, but trust me, it is not. Watch this again. On the 1 of the 8. Right all over, because you have to shoot the pin either backwards or get a sidewall to take something. And shooting it backwards is much more difficult than it looks. Paul Metivier working on a spare. Off to the left, 6-pack, and the 7, that's a 3 fill. 65 after 7. Paul Metivier on the Brooklyn side of the head pin, but a bit of a hollow hit. Leaves the 5, 6, 7. Oh, what a nice 10, though, for Paul Metivier. That was a great shot. In fact, I know it was just a 10 box, but let's watch this again, because look at that. Just look at that leave. Would you believe that's going to go? But he caps the wood and uses the sidewall, and that's how Paul Metivier turns a 7 box into a 10 box. Oh, and Paul Metivier, a thin hit on the head pin, and you almost watch. I almost even paused. I was like, was that my camera lagging? But no, the ball got stuffed really hard. 6 pins down, 4 up, 2, 3, 4, 6. Paul Metivier's off to the right. Misses everything. That was an awkward hit. If you could believe that was a head pin shot. Really odd. Really bizarre. How bizarre. That'll be a 7 box for Paul Metivier. No luck there. 82 and 9. Paul Metivier, last time he faced Justin Lyonnais in round 9 at Lyonnais Lanes, he took 4 points with a 533 series. 2 strikes, 11 spares, 7 tens. There's a headpin shot for Paul Metivier and a split of 8. 5-7. Paul threw a 95, a 136, a 94, a 96, and a 112 against JT Lyonnais last time at Lita with 29 headpin shots and 16 splits. I covered that match. Check it out on the ACST Facebook page and or 3-ball spare on YouTube. That'll be a 9 box for Paul Metivier. I believe that will be a 91, game 4 for Paul Metivier. I'll just double check that score real quick.
You got it.
Okay, sorry about that, folks. Had a I had one correction to make on the oh yeah, my goodness, sorry about that. Too much going on physically. Had an issue with a paper score copy. There was a math error, and there was also one correction I had to make to match the official copy. So it's a 92 10th game after 10 for Paul Metivier. It's a 2-drop for JT Lyonnais. A bunch another one for the road. Paper scoring is unique when it comes to streaming and keeping a digital copy because there is always the very real possibility that you will get out of sync, and there's potential for not only math errors but just getting out of sync and all that. So Candlepin is a very intense game to score, and it's very easy to get it wrong. So, and if all else fails, I follow the official paper copy the bowlers maintain. So just keep that in mind. Places like Exeter Lanes is also especially requires a lot of patience and a lot of focus to keep all that in check. That's a leave with a 6-10 for JT after a 2-drop. And that'll be a 10 box for JT Lyonnais. That's 91 and 8. And yes, I know I said it way back at the beginning, just stressing it again, the score you see on the stream is very unofficial. My score is not the final score. Except no responsibility if the score is different. I'm just following the bowlers. Checking in with the occasional paper copy. That's a 6-drop and a split for JT Lyonnais, the 7-10-4-5. Oh, and he tries to split it. He plays the wood, tries to spare it on the split and the spread of the wood, and the 10-pin just doesn't play ball. JT will take a 9 out of that mess. That's 109 for JT Lyonnais. JT Lyonnais 24.47 for 50 on average this season on the head pin. It's a 5-drop. At one point in this match, he had an 80% head pin completion percentage. Now he's down to 70. That's the 1-3-8-9-10 for JT. He'll take 2, leave 3, 1-9-10. And JT will punch 2 and leave the 9, and that will be, I believe, a 109. Fourth game for JT Lyonnais with a 4-game total of 444 and 397 for Paul Metivier. I'll verify that score in just a moment. And those scores are confirmed. 92 for Paul Metivier, 109 for JT Lyonnais. That's the score I'm going with. So 4 games in, it's a difference of 47 for JT Lyonnais, 444 to Paul Metivier's 397. Not impossible, but Paul Metivier is going to have to go not only lights out, but JT Lyonnais is going to have to stumble in the 5th game. Bowlers are getting ready to start here. Paul Metivier just getting wound up here at Exeter Bowling Lane Shooter Sports Pub. It's apparently poker night here this evening. Paul Metivier starting out on the head pin, drops 7. Split 7, 5, 6, 10. All throughout this match, JT Lyonnais has been over Paul Metivier, except for, well, he has been over in total pinfall for almost the entire time. He came close to tying by the 20th box, but other than that, it's been the JT Lyonnais evening this evening. There's a 10 box for Paul Metivier. That's 10 after 1. Paul Metivier, his home house, Leda Lanes, as was mine. Manager of Market Basket for 30-plus years. All-time series high 5, 666. And his all-time high single from 1998, 203. Paul Metivier does have a 200 game in the books. 4 horsemen left side on the 10 for Paul Metivier. 1, 2, 4, 7, 10. And he's a little bit too, well, I wouldn't say too much on the head pin. He did run down the 4 horsemen left side, but he's left with the 10. And there's a 9 for Paul Metivier. 19 after 2. Paul Metivier had a 119 average when he was bowling in the 90s and prior. Came back to bowling after a hiatus in 2017. That's a 4-dropper Paul Metivier. 1, 2, 5, 8, 9, 10. Let's see if he can take this. Oh, he's on it, but he'll leave the 8. So it's going to be for a 10 box for Paul Metivier. And a 10 box it shall be for Mr. Paul Metivier. Both bowlers with 4 strikes apiece. JT Lyonnais with 3 spares more than Paul Metivier. But it's really that head pin percentage. Star of the show been JT Lyonnais, particularly with the head pins. And it's a head pin shot, no split for Paul Metivier. That's an 8 drop. That's a spare leave, 3-6. Paul Metivier, he's all over it. There's a mark for Paul Metivier. 39 and a bonus after 4. Paul Metivier, oh, and he'll punch a right side half Worcester and fill with 2, unfortunately. I know the feeling with that. When you punch the 3 and the 9 or the 2 and the 8. Metivier will punch the center now. 5 down, 5 up. 4, 6, 2, 7, 10. And that will be a painful 5 box for Paul Metivier. Almost got things going, but then the half Worcester fill, and then the second ball, the rough second ball, led to a disastrous third ball, and that's 46 after 5 for Mr. Paul Metivier. 4.5 game total of 443. JT Lyonnais is currently at 444, still +1, even 5 boxes behind, to give you an idea of the situation right now. So it's going to be a really interesting home stretch here. Let's see what happens. Here's JT Lyonnais. And it's his turn now for a half Worcester on the right side, punching the 3 and the 9 for JT. Oh, and he's on the head pin pocket. He'll leave the 5 and the 8 and nothing else. It's a great bid. I thought it was potential spare bid right there. JT. And the 8 pin jumped. 5 pin went, but the 8 pin jumped, but that'll be a 9 box for JT Lyonnais. JT on lane 6, Justin Lyonnais. JT Lyonnais, and he's not on the head pin there, but he'll drop 5. 1, 2, 7, 8, 10. And he'll leave the 1 and the 10 on the second ball. Both bowlers who were on fire with marks in the first half of this match. After the lane breakdown and the move, things just kind of slowed down just a little bit. Definitely for both bowlers. That's a 9 box for JT Lyonnais, and that's 18 after 2. Paul Metivier averaging 5.6 on the first ball. JT Lyonnais is averaging 6.2 on the first ball. And that number has been declining, along with the head pin shots for JT Lyonnais here in the latter half. There's a split of 5. Head pin shot. Spread eagle minus the 3, 2, 4, 6, 7, 10. And he'll take 2 on the right side, awkwardly spinning a piece of wood and leaving the 2, 4, 7. And there's a 10 box for JT Lyonnais. That's 28 after 3. And JT's on the head pin. Oh, and everything's still falling. It was almost a late falling strike. Got very close, but it is a 9 drop. It was a head pin shot. 7 pin is all that's left standing. Oh, and the wood deflects the ball away. Surprising right there. Be a 9 or 10 box. It'll be a 9 box for JT, 37 after 4. JT enjoying a comfortable lead of plus 38. 4 boxes into the final game with 1 to go. So he's maintaining that constant lead of between plus 35 to 50, wavering in and out. That's a 6 drop and a split for JT. It's 2-4, 8-10. Oh, and yep, that ball went into the vacuum of space, into the ocean. No mark. Third ball will destroy the array of 3 on the left and leave the 10. That's a 9 box, 46 after 5 for JT Lyonnais. It's a tie in the 5th, 46-46. Justin Lyonnais working on the goodwill of his previous good games. 490 to Paul Metivier's 443. And yes, Paul Metivier is starting to run out of boxes here. He has 5 to go to make up that deficit and also put up a wall of defense against Justin Lyonnais. Both bowlers have been struggling with marks on these 2 lanes, so we'll see what happens. It's all about the execution of dealing with a lane move and dealing with the different personalities and pins of the lanes you're on, especially after a move. And that's why in tournaments, you always find that, you know, in particular, prime example, the Easter Classic, we bowl 1 lane on 1 game and move 1 lane to the right every time to kind of even it out. That way, if you're comfortable on a lane, it's never really a guarantee no matter what, because you can have great fortunes on 1 lane and literally 1 lane over the right have a completely different ball game. Paul Metivier missed the mark despite hitting the object pin on the 2nd ball, but he did clean up for a 10 box, 56-6. Paul Metivier 22 for 46 in the head pin with 15 splits, averaging 5.7 on the first ball. He has 4 strikes and 4 spares. He's been totaling 46 in mark fills, averaging 5.8 per mark. And that's Paul Metivier with a 3 drop, the 6-pack, and the 7. The liquor store had a special. They gave you 1 extra can. Metivier to the right of the head pin, leaves the 1 and the 7 now. Oh, and to leave a 9. 65-7 for Paul Metivier. So Paul Metivier, as of right now, he can throw a max on 155 if he throws literally all strikes from here on out. Always look on the bright side. He's on the head pin there, and wow, that was interesting. 7 drop and a split. 8, 9, 10. Like Greek church adjacent. And he'll spare that up. Finally, there's a mark for Paul Metivier. 75 at a bonus after 8. He's 4 for 8 in the head pin with 3 splits. 23 out of 48 head pin shots with 16 splits this evening, averaging 5.6 on the first ball. He's on the head pin again. And he'll drop 6, and I won't repeat what he just said, but I'm totally with him there. Strike-worthy first ball. Dropped only 6 and left the accordion on the right side. He'll punch the 10, leaving the innie triangle, the 5, 6, 9. And it's going to be a 9-box cleanup for Paul Metivier. That's 90 and 9. And JT Lyonnais, he's still +3 in the total as of right now. I'm not going to say for certain, but at the moment, if Paul Metivier can't wrest back the total at all, this match will already be decided. Paul Metivier's on the head pin. It won't be for lack of trying. He'll drop 9. Final first ball cumulative average this evening for Paul Metivier is 5.7. Looks like it's going to be a spare, and it sure will be. He'll go down swinging. That's 100 and a bonus for Paul Metivier. He does have a lead in the total by +7. He can get it up to 17, and that will be his final wall of defense. And unfortunately, that wall is going to be about as tall as a picket fence against the battalion. Paul Metivier, and his final ball will be a 5 fill and a 105 final game. And that should be a 502 5-game total for Paul Metivier. Rough night overall, just having trouble just getting things kind of started and maintained, particularly in the mark fills. Paul Metivier usually fills a little higher than this. That's just kind of real interesting. Oh, and JT Lyonnais is wasting no time, giving me no time to catch up. He'll drop 9 on the headpin. And he'll somehow not get the spare off of that. The wood deflects the ball. On the 2-pin. And it will be a 9-box. Mark left on the table. Difference in the total is only 3 for Paul Metivier in the lead. And JT Lyonnais has 4 boxes to find 3 pins. I know how difficult that is. It's really hard to find 3 pins in 4 boxes, let me tell you. Have you ever found 3 pins in 4 boxes? Let me know in the comments, but there's 10 for JT, locking it up. As if there was really any debate about that, but let's watch that again. Kaboom. So fast, we can actually play it twice. Watch that. All right. It's now basically garbage time at this point. That's a 2-drop and a half Worcester for JT Lyonnais on the strike. He's +7 in the total. This is all gravy, and he fills with 2 again. Does it twice. He's at 67 and 7. And that will be a 6-box for JT Lyonnais, 73 and 8. 517 game total for JT Lyonnais, +15. Congratulations to JT Lyonnais for advancing to the next round of the playoffs. JT Lyonnais will drop 5, will drop 6. 4 horsemen right side. And he'll connect with the headpin. Ooh, and almost have a pretty one. Kind of a chaos spare almost, leaving the 3. Be a 9 or 10. And that will be a 10 for 83 and 9. So, folks, as we wrap up, it's been great broadcasting this to you. I'd like to thank our ACST committee members, including our league commissioner, Danny Finn, Class A treasurer, Rich Lamone, our statistician, Micah Imperato, the staff at Exeter Bowling Lane Shooter Sports Pub, for hosting us this evening. I'd like to thank my friend Steve Abodeely for some of the B-roll photography. Check him out at stabadeely.com. That's a 4-drop for JT Lyonnais. He'll take a few more pins out. 6 down, 4 up, 6 down. The T-bone on the deck. That'll be a 7, and that will be ball game for JT Lyonnais. And that is a 534 with a 90 by my count for 534 for JT Lyonnais and 502 for Paul Metivier. JT Lyonnais handily winning this match. He was effectively in the lead almost the entire evening. And I will show you in visual form here on the graph. You can say JT Lyonnais was just always on top the entire time, except for, well, he was almost tied with Paul Metivier. The closest was at about the end of the second game. But other than that, it was just JT Lyonnais' time to shine. So 502 for Paul Metivier, 534 for JT Lyonnais, 4 strikes for Paul Metivier, 5 strikes for JT Lyonnais, 66% on the head pin for JT Lyonnais. By the end of it all, Paul Metivier 50%. First ball average 6.6 for JT Lyonnais, 5.7 for Paul Metivier. So anyways, that should just be about it for us at Exeter Bowling Lanes. If you want to see any more bowling, there's plenty more where that came from. Check out Candlepin Bowling Network on YouTube, TikTok. There's at Candlepin Bowling. There's Candlepin Corner on YouTube as well as Facebook. There's the Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour page on Facebook. There's my page, 3 Ball Spare on Facebook, twitch.tv, and YouTube. And, of course, there's also a bunch of other ones like the Ripping the Rack podcast, the Candlepin podcast, with awesome guests all the time, as well as the Approach podcast. There's Tony Levesque on YouTube. Check out his work, as well as Charlie Collins on TikTok. And there's my channel. We talked about this, 3 Ball Spare, YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. Go have a look-see. And Candlepin's for Cancer. We can't skip over that. That's Al Johnson and Paul Grant in the photo there. And check out Candlepin's number4cancer.com. Plenty of tournaments to think about signing up for if you just want to donate. That's check it all out. I'll leave that up to you. And check out candlepin.org and click Go Bowling to find your nearest center, of course. Plenty of bowling all over New England and Eastern Canada, even as western as Albany, New York. So anyways, I think that's just about everything for the housekeeping. For Paul Metivier and Justin Lyonnais, I've been Steve Kelly. It's been a pleasure broadcasting this to you, and we'll see you at the next Atlantic Candlepin Singles Tour match. Have a great one, everyone.